Confronting a cheating fiancé is a moment no woman should ever face. I'm Eliza, and I lived that moment. The day I confronted Michael changed everything. It was a collision of heartache and revelation, a showdown where truths were laid bare and illusions shattered. In this chapter, witness the raw, unfiltered confrontation that marked the end of a love I once thought was unbreakable. This isn't just a story of confrontation, it's a tale of finding strength in the ruins of betrayal. Chapter 4. The day I faced my cheating fiancé, the confrontation that changed everything. The day I decided to confront Michael was a day I'll never forget. It was like walking into a storm, knowing you're about to be hit by a wave, but not knowing how hard it's going to knock you down. I felt a strange mix of fear and anger churning inside me as I drove to his place. My hands were trembling, my heart was racing, but there was also this sense of purpose, of needing to face the man who had turned my life into a lie. As I stood outside his door, I took a deep breath, trying to steady myself. This was it, the moment of truth. I knocked, my heart pounding in my chest. When Michael opened the door, the look on his face said it all. He knew why I was there. He tried to speak, to explain, but I cut him off. I didn't come here to listen to his excuses or his apologies. I came for closure. I showed him the photos, the texts. I watched his face fall, watched him struggle to find the words. But what could he possibly say? The evidence was right there, in black and white. The confrontation was intense. Every word he said just fueled my anger. He talked about mistakes, about being confused, about not wanting to hurt me. But it was all just noise. Empty words trying to fill a void he had created. I asked him the questions that had been haunting me. Why? How could he do this to me? To us? His answers were a mix of apologies and justifications. He talked about feeling trapped, about needing an escape. But none of it made sense. None of it justified what he did. As I stood there, listening to him, I felt this profound sense of sadness. Sadness for the love I had lost, for the future we would never have. But there was also this growing sense of strength within me. The strength to walk away from someone who had betrayed me so deeply. The conversation, if you can call it that, was going nowhere. It was clear that Michael and I were over. There was nothing left to salvage, no trust left to rebuild. So, I did the only thing I could. I walked away. As I left his place, I felt a range of emotions washing over me. Relief, that it was finally over. Anger, at him for betraying me, and at myself for not seeing it sooner. But more than anything, I felt free. Free from the lies, the deceit, the pain. Driving away from his house, I realized that this confrontation was not just about facing Michael. It was about facing myself. It was about acknowledging my worth, my value. I deserved better than a man who would betray my trust, who would break my heart. The road ahead of me was uncertain. I didn't know where I was going, or what I was going to do. But for the first time in a long time, I felt like I was in control of my own destiny. I was no longer defined by my relationship with Mikhail. I was just Elisa, and that was enough.